Burning and dodging are traditional photographic terms that refer to the process of manipulating specific areas of an image. When you use Lightroom's tonal controls, for the most part, you are applying changes globally. What do you do if you want to affect only certain areas of an image? Let me demonstrate using this image. I've already applied some noise reduction to the image, but not touched the tonal controls. I'll start there. So I'm in the basic pane now, and I am going to emphasize the two women in the middle. So I'm just going to look at them in terms of my exposure. I'm going to increase the exposure slightly. I don't want to go too far, but you can see already I'm having some problems with this side of this woman's face. This woman's fine. So I'll get about to there, and that's with my exposure slider, which affects the entire image. Now let's look at the image. On the left here, this woman is too bright. There's too much exposure there. This is too hot, too much exposure, and this is a little dark. So let's use some burn and dodge techniques to make this image just right. So I'm going to select the adjustment brush, and I'm only going to be working on the exposure. So I can just click on that and bring up a preset. I think I'll start over on the left side there, and I'm going to want to darken this woman. So I'll bring my exposure down a little bit. I can always go back and change it so it's not critical. Let me make sure all these settings are good. I can change the size of my brush with the mouse wheel. So I'll get that down. So I'm going to set a point right there, and I'm just going to paint in this area and darken her up a little bit, darken down in here. If I want to watch the area that I'm working on and see it more clearly, I'll select the mask overlay, and you can see now the mask overlay appears. I've set my flow. I just noticed here that the flow is set less than 100%. And you know what? I'm going to keep it there because that just means it's applying the effect a little bit slower as I click and drag, and I don't want it to come right out. It would be a little too heavy-handed. And I'm just going to paint around here. I'm going to turn off that mask. You can see now the area that I've darkened. And if I hold my cursor over that pen, the mask comes back. All right, so I've brought that area down a little bit. I can see here on this side of her face, I would like to burn that in a little bit as well, but I'm going to create a new adjustment point so I can control it separately. There, but I'll use the same exposure value. Again, I can adjust that separately. So I'm going to darken her face in a little bit. And you can see, if I move the slider, you can see better how that's working. It's way too much. Just a light burn. And if I want to come back here and select this one, I click. When there's a black dot, it's active. And you can see how I can affect that area now. Okay, now one more pin. I'm going to create another one over here. I want to burn in this area now. So I'm going to set that point because I'm there. We're not going to get enough until we go over farther. Yeah, I really have to darken that one. Okay, so there. Yeah, just painting in light, if you will. Okay, and now one last thing. This woman has gone a little too dark. I don't want her that dark, so I'll come over, pick another adjustment point, start there, but this time I'm going to dodge. So I want a positive exposure value. There. And let's paint. Okay, let's open that up. So there. All right, so let's go through what we've done. Here we have applied the exposure value that's in the positive area. In other words, we've opened it up or dodged the light to bring out her face. On this pin here, we've darkened it a lot. We've burned it in. Over here, this point, we've burned. That's a little too much. Bring it back there. And here, we've burned. So I've now gone into specific areas of this image and burned and dodged. And when I'm done, I can just click out of that adjustment brush And there you go, the final product. So burning and dodging are just another way for you to take your images to a professional level and get even more control of the final look.